I am blessed to have people in my life across different age groups. Some in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and even in their 70s. In my family, I am the youngest. I'm talking about being the last born. Yes, I am. So I have had the chance to watch life at those latter stages closely. Some of my cousins are close to their 70s, if not in their 70s. Across all of these ages, there is something I observed that stayed with me. I realized some are still rushing for the buses, chasing the trains, even at that age. Why? They still have a 9 to 5 to fulfill. Now, personally, that scared me. So I went deeper and thought back to when I worked in finance through my CMAP and deep faith studies to understand how and why current policies are impacting people and why this pattern keeps repeating. And what I found changed how I think about retirement completely. Now, let's put some real numbers on this. Let's begin with what the country provides. The UK pension in full gives you 10,600 to 11,500 per year. In a month, this gives you approximately £880 to 960 on an average. And remember, this is dependent on your Turner, your contributions. That is how long you've been contributing into the pension pot. That is what this average is actually based on. So it means that you may be paying your pension, but still may not be earning this level when you retire. So what does this mean? It helps to keep the light on, but it does not provide comfort. Unfortunately, on the other side, the lifestyle ranges in UK on a basic level is between £18,000 and £25,000. And if you want a little bit of a moderate lifestyle, then we are talking about £25,000 to £35,000. And you want a little bit of comfort. And that comfort is actually dependent on your definition and what you stand for, what your basic living is, because someone's comfort level may be different to the other. But then on an average, let's say for you to be able to retire comfortably on that level, we need between 35,000 to 45,000 at that age. I'm talking about 67 to 70, where your needs are actually limited, your wants are actually limited, because you are settling, you only focus on what actually matters. That is when you need that amount of money. Therefore, the difference between surviving and living well must be built and contributed by yourself. Therefore, dependent on what your pot is, let's use the 4% rule to determine how much you actually need to retire on. The 4% rule is a guide that says you can withdraw around 4% of your investment pot every year without running out quickly. And so let's put some maths together and let's see if you have this and you are able to withdraw this each year, because where you are and where you intend to be, that space between here and there needs to be contributed by yourself. And so the 4% rule is going to help you to know that margin. One, you know your number, and then two, you know the margin between here and there, what your contribution is. That is the exercise you need to do in order to catch up other basic, moderate, or a comfort lifestyle. Therefore, if your pot is £300,000, then you need £12,000 each year. If your pot is £500,000, you need £20,000 each year. And if your pot is £750, about £30,000 each year. And £1 million and above, we need about £40,000 each year. This is not exact science. It's a way to get a quick, realistic estimate. And so let's say you want £30,000 each year when you go on retirement. The state is already providing you with £11,000. This means we need £19,000 in order to have that accumulation. That is the £30,000. What does this mean? It means by the time you go on retirement, you should have invested between £450,000 to £500,000. So you see, this is how you work out that estimate with your retirement package. Pick the number, do the 4% estimate rule, apply that rule or that guide to that figure, and know what the state will be contributing to you and what you should be building as a buffer. Remember, retirement runs numbers. Going on retirement does not mean one is about to celebrate a birthday or freedom. Hit the number and you can unplug freedom. Know what the state is giving you. Know what you think is realistic to you in a year. Know when and what to contribute to make up the excesses. Let's say you are a little bit ambitious and so you want to retire at 40, which I root for every young person out here watching me between the ages of 18 to 25, let's say 28. This is something you can aim for, to retire early and do the things you really love to do. It is possible. It isn't impossible, so don't rule that fact out. But you see, retiring at 40 calculation is not the same as retiring at 67. The reason is because you need between 25 to 30 years contributed to your pension fund to be able to qualify for the state pension. So that means if you decide to retire at 40, especially influencers here who earn £10,000 a month, 20,000. I've seen a few people earning between 10,000 to 20,000 pounds a month here and there. You need to make sure you have a financial advisor. You need to make sure you're speaking to the right people and not just operating a limited company. You need to make sure that your retirement pot is heavily contributed into, both private and the government side. Find a way to make that contribution in there. Better still, ensure you have a SIP running for you. Now, this is, you haven't come to see me. I don't know what your circumstance is. So this is no financial advice to you. I'm just saying to you, speak to someone, send that email to yatfinance25@gmail.com. Definitely don't take that journey alone. Why? Recently, I had seen a podcast of an influencer who was earning in 2017, 2018, about £500,000 a year, and now up to nothing because the contracts and the deals you are receiving they are not permanent. But you should be able to find a way to rationalize finance and the limited company in order to ensure that if you decide to retire at 40, or if companies decide not to support you or book you or use you to propagate their services, you are still able to fund for yourself. Now, that was me digressing a little bit. Let's dive back into where I was. Remember, when you step away that quickly, there is no state pension contributor, like I stated earlier. Now, between the 25 to 30 years that you could have contributed to the state pension, now all of this must be done by yourself. If you want £30,000 a year, you are looking at a pot between £750,000 to £1 million. Is this achievable? Yes, you can do this. Start right. Do the right things right. Liaise with the right people. Ensure you have systems and structures in place. And this is achievable. It sounds a lot, but it is possible. Let's talk about where you could be by age. So here are some rough markers you can tap to see if you are on track. I.e., if you are this age, then you should have had this invested. So let me roll out and bring a clear screen where you can see it visibly without myself, no distraction. Just so you can take a moment to just ask that question in-depthly. Are you catching up? Because this is reality. By the age of 30 years, you should have invested between £20,000 to £50,000. By the age of 40 years, you should have invested between £80,000 to £200,000. By the age of 50 years, you should have invested £200,000 to £400,000. And by the age of 60, you should have invested between £300,000 to £700,000. You can do this. It is possible. It is achievable. Don't rule it out. You want that comfort life? This is not your responsibility. And remember, these aren't targets to scare you. They are signposting to aid you, to help you with your navigation, a path to align and look forward. Let's talk about what to do from today. And this is where I get excited, because usually when I expose a problem like this, I like to come with some remedy, some solution. What can we do? Okay, so you say this, but now what, okay, so what is what? What do we do? Yeah, I know you've been waiting for that. So this is what I propose that one can do. Once again, I do not know your personal situation. It isn't a financial advice. You want a financial advice, send an email to yatfinance25@gmail.com. It must be specified and tailored to your needs. Number one, let's lift our contribution, because the minimum contribution won't help us build a strong retirement. Aim for between 10 to 20% of income over time. Number two, use both pension and ISA. Pension for long term, ISA for flexibility and assets. You build strength by combining these two. Number three, invest. Do not just save. Cash protects and investment grows, which is one of the reasons why I've rolled out the 52-week YAT Finance series to help. And also, if anyone is thinking about investing when the person is earning a certain level or amount of money, this series is to inform and educate and show you that with £10, £20, you can help build and change that family tree. Number four, increase your income over time. A flat income limits your future. Why? Because growth expands, and with that, there can be options. Finally, stay consistent. £200 a month, slow build up to £500 a month, a steady progression to £1,000 a month, strong momentum. Retirement isn't about stepping away from work. It's about stepping into choice. And those choices are shaped by what you build month by month. So with everything I have informed you with, the real focus is not the age you intend to retire. It's what you intend to do from today that will aid that decision tomorrow. This is YAT Finance. If you haven't followed this platform, you are missing out. Leave me a message. Let's communicate, chat down there. Yes, I will respond to that DM. But by all means, send an email to yatfinance25@gmail.com. I can't wait to see you at the top. Take that decision one day at a time, step by step, month by month, and up you go. See you in the next.